This here's the terrain I'd like to show you. This here terrain is what I call extreme skiing. There's chutes in there that are definitely pretty tight and gnarly. These places, obviously you have to hike to, and that's half the battle, is getting to them. Hike up to the top, check out the snow conditions.
Yeah, right up there.
And once you're there, you got to know what you're skiing. That's why you scope it now. Because if you don't know what you're skiing, when you get up to the top, you know, it could be pretty fatal for you. So now's the time to look at it, wait for the time to be right and the snow to be right, and go rip it up. Remember, you got to use your brain. It's the most important part of your equipment. So let's go do it. Snow's breakable. You stay on top until you make that turn, and then you'll break through. So you got to kind of feather it, but you know, just be on it. Make sure your skis come all the way around.
I feel good.
Make sure you land on your skier's left side. You don't want to land on the right side because it'll spit you out over those rocks.
Like I knew that I would now.
Yeah, you're on your skis.
Okay, we're ready for him.
Son, we're gonna do it.
Count him down.
So good.
Okay, Paulie, buckle up those boots, man. Be on it.
I got you. Get out of here, that thing.
Get pumped! Woo!
Send 'em.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Skier's going.
He's dropping in. Boom. Good first turn. Good second turn.
Ladies and gentlemen,
On it. Okay, make that pull down. Avalanche hole.
at this time, we'd like to ask you to fasten your seatbelts and hold tight.
One more turn. He's looking. Drop it, baby, drop it! Woo! Come on now, Paul. Don't hesitate. You got it, you got it. He's ready. Boom, now get on it, turn! Jump, jump! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Ow! You all right, baby? Woo!
15,000-foot peaks. Anticipation of the unknown. A commitment to danger. Your heart is pumping. You're in a place you've never been before. Why do you do it? A sense of accomplishment. The thrill of risk. Setting tracks on some unscarred peak. This is the story of some of those skiers.
Scot Schmidt started it all. He's the dude. He technically was the hottest looking skier to date.
The story begins in Squaw Valley, California. In the early 1980s, we met a new breed of skier. There were guys like Tom Day. Guys transplanted from all over the states who would ski where no one else ever even thought of making tracks. And Robbie Huntoon from Vermont. Kevin Andrews, a native Californian. And the preeminent Scot Schmidt, hailing from Montana. The first time we filmed Scott, he showed up on a pair of K2 downhill skis. This is vintage Scot Schmidt. Set up our cameras to film Scott skiing a line down this ridge. But Scott had his own agenda, a line that would take him over the rocks. He laid down tracks anywhere he wanted, where no one else ever thought of making turns. A lot of guys crashed and burned in the same lines and chutes, but Scott had the instinct that separated him from the rest. We knew we were looking at a new style of skiing, a style we called extreme skiing. That cross-up is a Scot Schmidt patented trademark. Yeah, Squaw's the proving ground, all right. And no matter how good you are, even the best are never done paying their dues. This was the beginning of a whole new subculture of skiers pursuing the rad and gnarly, with a passport to ski places no one ever thought possible. Scot Schmidt was a guy intent on rewriting the book of skiing, and we followed him. Looking for places to ski with Scot was like nothing else we'd ever done. When helicopters couldn't get us where we wanted, we'd send them home. We studied the mountains, learned how to make an ascent, and then we'd climb up in these incredible places for some extreme descents. We all got into some pretty hairy situations. Getting to the top is not the end. It's just the beginning. Anyone who tells you they're not afraid of their first time on a mountain like this is lying. Over a crevasse, a 70-foot drop. One mistake, and you may not go home. There's not much more to say about Scot, other than he was the best extreme skier to come out of the States in a decade. He's the quintessential cool skier. Grace under pressure. Turning disaster into triumph. One rad dude. Yeah, the media discovered Scot, and the magazines, clothing and equipment companies, and even film companies wanted to identify with him. But Scot Schmidt hasn't changed, and more often than not, you can find him with his friends ripping it up and enjoying the simple pleasures of extreme descents like here in Montana. Talk about having your back up against the wall. Sometimes there's no turning back, no alternate plan. It's either trail or bail.
Yeah, extreme skiing to me is putting on a backpack and going out in the backcountry where you can't get to by lifts and skiing these couloirs that you look at from 395 or wherever you're skiing and go, wow, I want to ski that, and waking up at 4 in the morning and putting that pack on and humping up these couloirs and taking off. That's extreme skiing. That's fun stuff. That's good stuff. That's extreme skiing.
During the summer months, Las Leñas, Argentina is a spot to be, and world-class skiers like Kevin Andrews and Robbie Huntoon can really do the rippin' justice. the early days at Squaw Valley, both Kevin and Robbie have remained two of the best extreme skiers in the world, always on the cutting edge. Yeah, you pretty well have to stay out of the good old USA if you want to go extreme skiing. Too many contingency fee lawyers hassling the ski area owners. So we popped over to Chile to share some more extreme conditions on that side of the border. On this warm summer day, Mike Kern and Tom Day tear it up on killer conditions in Portillo, Chile. Now, Chile and Argentina aren't the only places to ski in the summer. Along this narrow island in the South Pacific, more mountains exist than in all the Alps of Europe. And in a town named Wanaka, Paul Scaife's heli operation attracts every ski bum, photographer, and Wanaka heli hopeful from almost every ski place in the world. We were lucky. Paul was anxious to take us up to a special place they called the Tyndall Glacier. It's a rare day to get into the Tyndall because if weather comes in like it can be lost with no way out. Craig Kelly, Mike Jacoby, Peter Bauer, Jean Nerva, and Tara Eberhard lucked into an epic day in New Zealand and brought their tool of choice, their snowboards. The Tyndall Glacier looked clear, and we gambled on checking it out.
reach 68 degrees. It's going to take a real edge to hold on to this.
68 degrees? It's totally steep.
Extreme skiing is pushing yourself both to your physical and mental limits and skiing at the highest possible level.
Lots of skiers meet us in the parking lot and convince us they can jump anything. They have what we call Kodak courage. I'd like you to meet a few of these people. Here's Greg Smith at Tuckerman. Sometimes we catch these moments on film that spook all of us, no matter how many times we watch them.
When it comes to jumping, whether it's 20, 30, 60, or 110 feet, everything is calculated to perfection. The takeoff, the air time, the landing, the run out, so that we can go off with a calculated confidence that there's no way we'll get hurt. Because dying is not much of a living, boy.
This is the key ingredients to extreme skiing, huh? Check it out.
Looks like a fun day with nothing to worry about. Yeah, right.
Of course, you might have a few avalanches in there, but definitely want to be aware of that because that's the last thing you want to get into.
When you go out in the backcountry and you're skiing these couloirs and you're going in these hikes, carry peeps, carry snow shovels with you. Check in with your local ski patrol. Let them know where you're going. Check the snow conditions. Avalanches take lives. There's no 911 out there. Be careful. Don't be stupid. That's it. A smart skier is a live skier.
That's Robbie Huntoon again. Watch it, Robbie. That's a 2-foot fracture, spitting him out through the rock. He was as white as a ghost at the bottom when he surfaced. Those are extreme conditions.
The thing about extreme skiing is that there's no timing, there's no judges, it's just you playing with Mother Nature.
When we were in Grand Targhee, Mother Nature wasn't in a very good mood. Talk about extreme. How many times did your local hill drop away into a 2,000-foot ravine? While these guys dig their way out, let's go to Switzerland and see what's happening there. Any story having to do with extreme skiing has to incorporate a trip to the Alps. This winter morning, we hit the best snow ever, and we were ready and loaded in time to film Tom Day and John Egan with mountain guide John Faulkner, cutting it up on this magic day in Verbier.
When I extreme ski, I have a plan A and a plan B. Plan A is the line that I have pictured in my mind, the turns, where I'm gonna catch air, my run out. Then in plan B is if I make a mistake, cross my tips up, fall, where I'm gonna fall, how I'm gonna fall, and how I'm gonna recover from that fall. But when it's really extreme, don't fall.
Contrary to popular belief, extreme skiing is not just reserved for the out of bounds, and freestyle aerials aren't the stunt and grunt of yesterday. We caught up with some of the big guns of World Cup aerial competition at Breckenridge, Colorado. Here's Philippe Laroche of Canada, penciling a full, triple twisting, triple backflip. Didier Maida from France comes in a little short. How about this? 7 revolutions in all, a quad twisting triple backflip. Some of these gunners are maxing out at 50, 60 feet in the air. Doggers gave us the buzz for big air, so we headed over to Ironwood, Michigan for a world-class ski flying event. The freestylers and the ski flyers form 2 very elite clubs, each thinking the other is crazier. These guys are the masters of staying airborne. Check out this pilot making a move where he throws his skis to one side to get more lift. 503 feet, thank you. That's big air.
Everybody's an extreme skier, you know. The guy who gets on a rope tow for the first time and holds onto that thing and whoo, takes off up the hill. That's extreme skiing. Whatever gets your adrenaline going, whatever makes you laugh and makes you go, yeah, that's extreme skiing, you know.
I guess it's the freedom to go anywhere you want, where no one else has ever gone, that drives us to the most radical places, the most extreme. What is the future of extreme skiing? Where can we take it? Another 100 feet? A steeper chute? I don't think anyone knows for sure. You know, the biggest, best, and most important reasons we have for skiing the extreme is the fun, man. That's the why. Why go off a cliff? For fun. Why go down a gnarly chute? For fun. Because that's what skiing is all about. The camaraderie, the excitement, the challenge. That's what extreme skiing means to most of these people. Davie McCoy doesn't race the clock or try to please the judges. He gets his rush skiing the backcountry. Kevin Andrews is launching off higher cliffs and skiing steeper chutes than ever believed possible. Paul Ruff and Brad Vancour are brand new on the extreme ski scene, but their steep skiing and air savvy are already showing the makings that have gotten them an invite for extreme ski trips to places like North Africa and Russia.
Hello. You guys ready?
Go!
You wanna go first? I think this guy should go. Good luck, pal.
See you, pal.
Jump! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Ow! You all right, baby? Woo!
So the next time you think of extreme skiing, whether you're perched on a 120-foot cliff band, or cranking a high-speed turn just a little faster, push it, love it, live it. It's not just a sport, it's an attitude.
Point it, jump, suck it up, land it, stick it. Nice. Way to go. Nice one.
Man, that was freaky on top.
Oh, isn't it?
That's all right, though.
Nice job, man. Yeah. Good one. Woo. Killer. I believe there are definitely a lot of different definitions to extreme skiing. You know, everybody has their own opinion, and whatever's extreme to one person may not be to another, but, you know, basically skiing is really just nothing but having fun. You know, going out skiing, skiing with your friends is really probably some of the best experiences that I've had throughout my life.
Go out and have fun. It's a great sport. Okay, that's it. Wrap.